Hey gods and goddesses, on May 12th, the full moon rises in Scorpio, meaning we are having a full moon in Scorpio, and this is directly opposing the sun in Taurus and also Uranus in Taurus. So, Scorpio is about transformation, it's about release and change, but I feel like this isn't about just a release because we have Uranus being activated. This is a change, this is an awakening that almost feels electrifying. It really does electrify the moment, a certain idea, and that means emotions are running deep. They're running, truths are running erupt, like they're really being brought to the forefront. Anything that is built on false security, it's going to shake. Anything that needs transformation but only wants stability is going to be changed, because Uranus wants freedom and it wants disattachment. And with this full moon, I feel like it really asks us, what are you holding on to that your soul is ready to break free from? With Pluto being in retrograde, we know that our soul is going through an upgrade, a much needed transformation. It being in Aquarius, the whole world is experiencing this. We are upgrading our consciousness. And Taurus is a sign that is fixed. It doesn't normally want to change, as well as Scorpio, right? And so these fixed signs can experience deep emotions that forces a transformation. Like I said, Taurus wants stability, but Uranus wants freedom. And there will be truths that come to the forefront. And anything that is built on anything false will come to the forefront. You must break free in order to release or upgrade your soul in some type of way. So let's get started. We're going to start with Aries, of course, right? So Aries, you're experiencing this full moon in your 8th house, and the Uranus is going to be in your 2nd house. So this is the 2nd and 8th house access. And the themes of this is, shared intimacy, deep intimacy with the next person, shared power with the next person. And the 2nd house deals with, or Uranus in Taurus is going to deal with self-worth, right? Electrifying your self-worth. I feel as though you're going to be reclaiming your value. You're letting go of any financial fears that you have, any self-worth fears that you have, any type of worth that you have when it comes to lack. We know that Chiron is still in your sign, but I feel as though this full moon would get you to really let go of these emotional attachments that you have that diminish your power, that makes you think you are not worthy of making something or being something. It's almost like what you possess, Aries, is enough. Now it's time to release what's controlling you, what's holding you captive and making you feel like it is not enough. Because Taurus talks about our physical manifestation, and Scorpio talks about releasing in order to, embody something greater, better. But it also talks about power, and power does come from, for you, power is coming from the 8th house, but also it is, opposing the 2nd house. So it's almost like your sense of worth and your sense of value will be reevaluated during, the Pluto retrograde and things of that nature, in order to push you forward, Aries, and for you to reclaim your value and reclaim your power. And this can be in shared dynamics, because 8th house has to do with other people and other people's money. You could be letting go of a certain income from other people. You could be paying off a debt. You are just letting go of any type of fear that causes emotional turmoil that you attach yourself to. I'm so happy for you, Aries. So I'm going to be moving on to Taurus. Aries, if that was helpful or useful, please try to send it to someone else, and maybe they can find it useful as well. Thank you, Aries. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's move to Taurus. So Taurus, you are going to be experiencing the full moon in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. This is the house of we. This is the house of us or other people. The 1st house of self. This is you. Uranus has been in your sign, Taurus, right? And, it's been upgrading your brain structure. It's been upgrading your body, but upgrading the way that you see the world and causing spontaneous change. But it doesn't come without its value, if that makes sense. It's almost like you see more value in yourself. That Uranus has been in your sign for about 6 years now. Oh my goodness, almost 7, right? And so this is really a me versus we, me versus the other, so you're seeing yourself through another person's point of view. It's almost like relationships become a mirror, and you're no longer going to take, or you're no longer going to allow things to happen that kind of affect your identity, right? It's like the relationship is revealing things about your identity, about your development in this world. And it's like you have to let go of who you think you are, or who you think that people are telling you are, and actually see the mirror for what it is, and see yourself for what you have been, like for what you have become, right? And start integrating things inside of your identity that really get you to let go of who you think that you were, in order to love who you are becoming more, more passionately or more truthfully, finding that true sense of self, not just needing another person to bring you a true sense of self, or to, boost up your confidence in any type of way. The full moon really brings these harsh truths, but it's like that person is going to be reflecting parts of yourself, shadows that you don't want to look at, but you have to, Taurus, because you're moving past a lot of grief, if that comes, or like grief of not knowing the self, or grief of abandoning the self. And it's now you're coming back to, okay, what do I like? What is my, point of view? What is a part of my growth? And I feel like you are starting to know who you are, and it's a very revealing time. And I will say, keep searching, Taurus, but use these times to really reflect on your own shadows. And honestly, be happy. Be happy for this, because now you can see exactly yourself or who you are. And honestly, I feel like the relationships just reveal something about your identity, whether it's a shadow or whether it's a space of empowerment. Either way, you will be empowered, Taurus. So definitely just, you know what I'm saying, just hold on and just see yourself, but don't judge yourself, okay? That's all I have for you, Taurus. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I will see you guys on the next video. Let's move to Gemini. Gemini. Okay, Gemini, you are going to be experiencing the full moon in your natal sixth house in Scorpio, and Uranus is going to be in your 12th house. So Gemini, with Uranus in your 12th house, you have been experiencing a lot of, spiritual insight. You have really been connecting to spirit, connecting to the unseen and what is behind your subconscious, right, Gemini? And it's almost like this, well, the sixth house is where the full moon is happening. This is a house of service. So it's almost like you've been serving spirit in some type of way, especially with Jupiter in your first house. You have a lot of wisdom, or you have gained or unlocked a lot of wisdomatic codes within you, Gemini, and you are using them. Remember, Uranus is going into your sign this year. If you haven't gone to watch the video on Uranus going into Gemini, I'm going to put that link down below. But for you, it's like your soul is really exhausted, from carrying too much, because Jupiter is in your sign, and then you have, Pluto in retrograde, but you also have like a full moon in the sixth house. You're really being weighed down by these things. It's like you're carrying too much. It's time to release like toxic routines. It's time to really connect to spirit and not so much of service, if that makes sense. It's like the way that you are suppressing yourself, or the way that you are, let's say, not getting enough rest, it's starting to drain your energy in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, healing comes from being in silence. In the 12th house, or connecting with spirit, comes from like the darkness, but silence, but also like a space of self-reflection, right, Gemini? And you're starting to understand that rest is your rituals. Like, you need to sleep. Like, you actually have to go into, the dream world. You have to go into the astral world. You have to use your practices to keep yourself leveled up. You know what I'm saying, Gemini? Especially with Jupiter in your sign, you have a lot of wisdom, and you have a lot of ancestry wisdom, and it's time for you to use it as higher knowledge, right? Using it as higher knowledge means like you don't have to carry the burden of the past, because the 12th house, with Uranus in there, does bring up the past. You don't have to carry it with you every single day. You can transmute it, and you will transmute it, because you're having Pluto is ruling over your sixth house. So you will be working to transmute these daily habits in order to incorporate more rituals that work for you, in order to incorporate like more like sensors in your body. Like, you can sense when your body, needs like water. You can sense when your body needs a certain element, needs iron, needs calcium or something like that. You become more in tune with your body, Gemini. Isn't that I think that is fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Because you are truly becoming the god of your own vessel. I love that, Gemini. So yeah, Gemini, that's all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and send it to someone else, and maybe they can find it useful as well. Okay, I'm going to move to. Well, by Gemini, I'm going to move to Cancer. So, Cancer, you're going to be experiencing the full moon in your natal fifth house of fun, of entertainment, honestly, of the heart, right? Child is where the heart is. It's like your inner child, the fifth house. And this is the axis of the 11th and fifth house because Uranus is in the 11th house for you right now, Cancer. And I think this access can be seen as something like the crowd versus the heart, like not the crowd, but almost like the sheeps. What am I saying? Not the sheeps, but you know how the 11th house is like groups, right? And it's groups of people, structured groups, and that try to bring some empowerment, but it's almost like you're asked to detach from that. Even you're asked to detach from the opinions of others, to detach from these groups and really return back to your joy, back to your opinions, back to what you want. It's like letting go of being seen, being the unique one in the like in the whole, like in the group. You know what I'm saying? It's this fear. I think deep down, Cancer, you have a fear of being seen or being rejected or being not being seen as the group is being seen, but your creativity and your heart, your inner child is sacred because it's only something that you can, conjure up and talk about. You know what I'm saying? Or even you are the only one that is embodying this creativity. You're the only one that has the heart of gold right now, right? And because Scorpio is your fifth house, and it's also a water house. These are deep emotional truths that come to the forefront. But you can honestly, Cancer, use these to really create something within the fifth house. Like your emotional body can create something for you that as a release, but like your inner child, it needs to be expressed in some type of way. Like you have to express this, Cancer. Do not hold this in. This, it's like transmuting. This is inner alchemy that I'm talking about, Cancer. Transmuting any type of pain that comes, or any type of opinion that comes from the pain of others. When people say things and you're like, it severely hurts, depending on, the planets you have in the fifth or 11th house, even in your first house. But it's almost like words really, they hit home. You know what I'm saying? Especially with your fifth house being in Scorpio. You hear everything and you see everything. Now it's really time for you to expose the truth, Cancer. Then, like, expose the truth. If the truth hurts, then I mean, they told you the truth and it hurt, but you're alive, right, Cancer? And it made you better, right? You are returning back to your joy. So spread the truth as much as you can, Cancer. And that's all I have for you, Cancer. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, Leo. Hey, Leo. Hey, Leo. Hey, Leo. So, Leo risings, you are experiencing a full moon in your natal fourth house. Oh my goodness, right? This is the natural home of the moon, and it is in Scorpio. This is extremely deep, right? This is like a private. I always say that the fourth house is who you are in private. Like when you are, it is the house of the childhood. Yes, it is the house of your emotional body. It is the house of how you respond, but it is who you are when you're alone, right? Since it is in Leo, excuse me, I'm sorry, since it is in Scorpio, this is someone who dives into deep truths. This is someone who looks for, they can become obsessed with certain things, but they're extremely intelligent and like psychologically intelligent. Let's just say that you are Leo. But now it's like, you can't fake it anymore because the 10th house, Uranus being in your 10th house, this is your public image, right? And Uranus has been up there, and the moon is opposite in the fourth house, but you can't fake it anymore. You can't fake truth, Leo. You can't fake, like, you have this inner security. If you don't, you cannot fake success, or you cannot look for outer success if you don't have inner fulfillment or inner, standing. You have to have a center, Leo, and now it's time for you to find that center. And the way that you find that center is to let go of the past, let go of family dynamics that keep you like emotionally trapped, and build your own truth with the fourth house being in Scorpio. You can dive into a lot of themes of I'm not gonna even call it taboo, because Scorpio are the things that we actually need to be talking about. Psychological trauma, and you can transmute it into inner alchemy, inner power. You know what I'm saying? Because Pluto is retrograde in your fourth house, Leo. You are going over a lot of things. You're seeing a lot of things. A lot of things are being revealed to you in order for you to burst into another transformation. But I think that this transformation is emotional. It's almost like you're building your own truth, your own ancestral truth. In order to transmute it, you are transmuting a lot of ancestral wound, pain, and family dynamics that think that they have an inner security, but it's not really inner security. You know what I'm saying? It's inner chaos, because we can talk about Scorpio being seen as chaos as well, but but on the other side of Scorpio, there is order. You know what I'm saying? Through that transformation, it's chaotic, but honestly, we want a Scorpio moment in life because it really gets us to upgrade, Leo. So you cannot fake it anymore. It is time for you to really build that inner security and let go of the past and let go of things that keep you feeling like you have to be emotionally tied down and deeply, because Scorpio is feeling very deeply. So you don't want to be tied down this way. You want to transmute it into something that is meaningful, which is building your own truth, finding your own sense of self, studying, finding things that are so-called taboo, but Scorpio subjects that deal with psychology, that deals with inner truths, that deal with finances, that deal with bringing things to light that are trying to be hidden in the shadows. Okay? So that is all that I have for you, Leo. Like, build your truth, please. We will. We will do this. I am a Leo sun. And yes, that's all I have for you, Leo. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, Leo. Virgo. Hey, Virgo. So, Virgo rising, you are experiencing a full moon in your natal third house, and it is opposing your ninth house. So, this is the ninth and third house axis. Um, for you, Virgo, I feel like this is like the bigger picture and expecting immediate truth. It's almost like a perspective, but just like research information. You know, like the ninth house is our higher perspective. We are able to look at things that we can't look at in the third house because we're still researching, type of thing. But the ninth house brings us a really deep understanding. And I feel as though, Virgo, you're letting go of these outdated beliefs that is honestly limiting in some type of way. Because if you believe something, you know it to be true in your body, you know, you don't have to keep proving it to yourself, if that makes, you don't have to keep proving your intelligence, Virgo. You know, it's like, if you know, you know, it's kind of like already embedded within you. You know what I'm saying? So you're letting go of these outdated mindsets, you know, or the stories that you keep telling that keep you small and keep you like you don't know. But you know, when you come to know, Virgo, there is an inner knowing, there is an inner truth. It, you know, it kind of breaks the spell. You know, it kind of breaks the code of not knowing or not believing in yourself. And with the third and ninth house, you must believe in your own mental capabilities. You know, I think a realization is going to shift your world view and the way that you're viewing yourself and the world, or even your own intelligence, you know? And like, what you speak honestly will start to become your spells, or start to become your sense of knowing. Or you're speaking now after, you know, the full moon. You know, Pluto is in retrograde as well. After you do, you know, some reflection, you dig up some immediate truths or inner truths, you will start to speak life onto yourself. You know, it's like your life becomes a spell, because now you have realized that you can shift from having these higher perspectives about yourself, about your intelligence, about your home. You are really, like, just, let's just say this, letting go of outdated mindsets, and you are not going to play small anymore, Virgo. There's no reason for you to play small anymore. You are very intelligent, and it's time for you to express your intelligence in the way that you know how. It doesn't have to be perfect, Virgo. Anytime you are expressing yourself, especially, you know, with the third house, you're already intelligent. This is natural skills you have, or natural skills that you can develop. And if you are developing on them, you see, believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Believe in your truth, and believe that it can be something that will take you somewhere. Okay, Virgo? So that's all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, Virgo. Libra. Hey, Libra. So Libra rising. Um, Libra. So you are going to be experiencing the full moon in your natal second house in Scorpio. And this is the eighth and second house access, right? Because you have Uranus in the eighth house. And excuse me, it's about Libra. I feel as though it's time for you to stop giving your power away. Like, stop outsourcing your power away willingly. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this full moon for you, Libra, is going to strip away false security so that you can discover what's truly yours, or what's truly meant to be yours, or actually where your power lies and when you've been giving it away. And I won't say just giving away your power, but we know that words are power. We know that our self-worth is power. We understand that what we have is power, and you have to understand that, Libra. What you have, you have everything that you need to thrive. What you have everything that you need to get what's truly yours, or discover what's truly yours. Do not give your power away by thinking that other people should receive more than you actually own, or something like that. It's like not more than you actually own. Let's just say, it's like giving and giving and giving, but you're not getting back what's truly yours. Like Libra, we know that you're spreading a lot of knowledge, and honestly, not even a lot of knowledge. We know that Libra has they bring people together, or they can bring, this harmony or unity to certain things that other signs can't bring it to. And they have just this individual understanding of both sides, or, they're really able to perspect both sides. And now it's time for you to perspect both sides, Libra, of owning, and I wouldn't even say owning, because it's like owning that sense of self, owning that sense of rawness, owning that sense of raw power that you hold naturally, and not giving it away in your voice, because your voice holds a lot of power right now. And as it is in retrograde, Pluto is in retrograde, and it's ruling over your second house, Libra. You are truly going to come back even more powerful. And I need you to use those words on yourself, words of affirmation, and really transmute it into something that's going to bring this phoenix level up. Okay, we need this phoenix level up, because your power is really being reborn, or you're starting to see where a sense of power is actually coming from. And it may be scary a little bit at first, but now it's like you can discover what is false and what is true. And that's you need to know what's truly yours and who's truly meant, to hear your voice, Libra, or it's not even about hearing a voice, because it can be hearing the voice depending on what, you choose to use it for, but it's more about what you choose to use your power for. You know what I'm saying? And not everyone has the voice of power, but if you believe that you do, which I do, Libra, believe that you have the voice of power, use it. If you have the resources of power, use it, because this is the second house. This is a house of abundance. You can have abundant amount of things. What do you have an abundant amount of? You use it for yourself, and then you can outsource and give it to others, Libra. Okay, so that's all I have for you, Libra. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Libra. Scorpio. Hey, Scorpio. So, Scorpio, you are going to be experiencing a full moon, like in your first house, Scorpio. This is a very powerful full moon for you. We have the Uranus is in your seventh house, opposing the Sun as well. That's in Taurus, and the self within. It's almost like you are evaluating the self within and also the other. You are being reborn in so many different ways. It's so hard to stress on the fact how much Scorpio risings are being reborn to their authentic truth, or authentic love center space. But truly, you are being reborn. It's like the old versions of you, the old versions of you was created through like love, like you still have to love those versions, Scorpio. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to be compassionate to those versions. Even though you are rising, be compassionate. You are not dumb. You are not, you are not like lacking anything. No one has had your mind. Well, Scorpio rising do deal with a lot of, manipulation. But what I'm saying is, like, listen, if anyone in your life is making you feel like you should feel guilty, or you should feel grief, or you should feel all of these different things because you want to be something else, it's time to let them go. Like your soul is asking you to lead from the inside out, truly, Scorpio. And, you know, every version of you was created through love. Every version of you was created through pain, partnership. It's dissolving if it doesn't work. If it's an old version of you and if it's not working, but think those versions and let it dissolve. And those that try to bring it up as it's as it's a, like a tactic or trying to trigger, you see those for what it is. And you can now look and feel yourself and see yourself from the inside out, Scorpio. You are truly being reborn. And because Pluto is also in retrograde as well, your power, like your power is being activated when you are finding a sense of power, Scorpio. Dive in deep to what truly matters to you. Whatever type of topics that you want to talk about or think about or study, please go and do that. It will teach you a lot about yourself, about your journey, about the things that you're learning, the things that you came in this life to do. Okay, not like everything that you have been through, you were supposed to go through it, Scorpio, so that you can level up. Now it is time to truly see yourself and truly be immersed in the power, and not always in an intense or chaotic way, but also using your power for greatness, for grandness, because Scorpio can use it for so many different things to change like humanity's psychological mindset, to change, to transmute trauma, to change, to be a psychiatrist. Like you can actually use it to do something with. And that's what you have to do, Scorpio. Okay, you're being reborn, and I can't wait to see you on the other side. So let's go to the next one, Scorpio. That's all I have for you. If that was helpful or useful, definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, or send it to someone else and maybe they can find it useful or helpful as well. And I'll see you guys on the next video. So bye, Scorpio. Let's move to Sagittarius. Hey, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, the full moon is going to be happening in your natal 12th house, the house of the unseen. Wow. I mean, yeah, I don't know if you know this, but actually the tarot card rules Pisces, and that's also the 12th house. And you are going to be having Uranus in your 6th house, and also the Sun in Taurus. I feel like the theme for you, Sagittarius, is going to be productivity, like actually going by routine, doing, what you do on a day to day, taking care of orders, taking care of what you need to do, and surrender. It's like you're not a machine. You're not a robot, Sagittarius. You're really not. Honestly, you were born free. And I feel like the body and the soul needs balance. It needs readjustment. Let go of burnout. Let go of thinking that you have to put everything on top of your head. And like you're hiding it as well. It's not you're hiding, but it's almost like you have to heal through these unseen places, and you cannot bury yourself in work because you are not a robot. You have to bury yourself right now in dreams, in solitude, in actual rituals that's going to help you, Sagittarius, because it's really time to let go of the it's time for healing, but it's time to let go of anything that keeps you from burning out very quickly. Structure your day and structure your time to something that is productive, yes, but surrender to the unseen forces, because I know for a fact, Sagittarius, that you are experiencing a lot of spiritual tests, almost like, and not that you don't believe it, but you're ruled by Jupiter, right? And Jupiter is in Gemini, right? And Jupiter is about to move to Cancer, its exaltation sign. And through that time, you'll start to see everything that has happened for a reason. Sagittarius, you have a really hive mind. You have a really, you can see things from a different perspective. You can listen to different things, and you can, take the wisdom out of it, right? And now is just time to take the wisdom for yourself in order to improve your day, Sagittarius. Like, this is very important, because you're not productive to anyone if you think that the boats and castles like belong on top of your head. It doesn't. Everything in your life, yes, is ultimately up to you, but we can expect grace, right? There is grace, and there are times where we need to rest, and we honestly need solitude and rituals, and we need to go into the dream world, because when you are dreaming or astral traveling, honestly, you're healing. Go to the temple of healing, visit your Akashic records, Sagittarius, okay? So that's all I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Sagittarius. Capricorn, hey Capricorn. So Capricorn, the full moon is going to be in your natal 11th house, and the Sun and Uranus is going to be in the fifth house. So this is the fifth and 11th and fifth house access. And when we have the full moon in the 11th house, it's really time to let go of what is not fun. You know, letting go of any group dynamics. And I mean by fun, like, what are we actually indulging in? Is it going to help the future? Like, if these dynamics, let going of like these group dynamics and old relationships, and even because the 11th house is the house of like the future, just letting go of these outdated ideas that no longer like inspire you. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't take you anywhere. It doesn't uplift you anymore. It's like your joy, Capricorn, now has to uplift you. Like your joy is your revolution. Your joy is the reveal. You know, there will be a lot of things that is revealed, you know, about your inner child, about your inner expression, and that will be changed. It's almost like you have to find purpose, because the fifth house is a house of purpose. You know, it's house of dharma. That's what I'm gonna say. But it's also the house of your joy. And if you can find joy in your inner self and your inner child, you can find your center. You can find your revolution. You can find your resolution. You know, you can find a lot of answers. And letting go of old dynamics like friendships that once was headed in the right direction, but now it has turned and it's not fun. You know, this is honestly about having fun, but not fun, but true joy, you know. And joy is like bliss, and ignorance is bliss. And, you know, don't be ignorant and stay in bliss, but just experience some type of joy, Capricorn, okay? Because that is really where you're going to find your revolution. That honestly must be started, because the 12th house, actually not the 12th house, the 11th house, you're going to have this full moon, but Pluto is also in retrograde, ruling over your 11th house. And naturally, it's getting you to redirect your power in some type of way. Take your power back from these dynamics that don't make sense anymore. Even out the collective consciousness, understanding what is going on in the collective consciousness, and finding your center and finding your sense of self, your sense of long-term goals. What are your dreams? What are your wishes? Adding in your own flavor, your own creativity can honestly make it skyrocket. But you have to believe, and you have to find your own joy, Capricorn. So that's all I have for you, Capricorn. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys on next video. Bye, Capricorn. Hey, Aquarius. Hey, Aquarius. So, Aquarius, you are going to be experiencing the full moon in Scorpio within your 10th house, and Uranus is in your 4th house, and also the sun, right? So this is the 4th and 10th axis. And in my opinion, this kind of brings a focus to like foundation, which is your, you know, security, and the future, where the future must be headed. Where are the mental struggles, you know what I'm saying? Or what are the ancestral experiences that are trying to keep going? No, it's time for you now, right, Aquarius? Like letting go of these like ancestral expectations or these emotional patterns that you have that keep you stuck from your building a true legacy for yourself, you know, that hold you back from your public path, because it is time for you to build a legacy. And the 10th house truly is like doing what you want, doing not what you want to do, but doing what you are actually called to do. And, you know, and it's really going to nourish your soul, and it's going to nourish your roots, and it's going to nourish everything about you, everything that has to do with the 4th house, even with the 10th house, honestly, you know. But it's like releasing the moon in the 10th house can be a very emotional release that people, you know, honestly, it can be a rupture in some type of way where, you know, you're arguing with people at your job. You want to quit very, very fast, you know. But no, it's really time, because Pluto is also in retrograde. I won't say no, but it is really time to figure out, what do you truly want? Where is your power lying, and where are you giving it away? And where should you not give it away, right? Because the 4th house, that wants to keep us stuck in our roots and ancestral patterns. And the 10th house, it opposing the 10th house is like, no, you need to truly examine that, because the moon is rolling over the 4th, and you need to transmute it and bring your family into a right direction, Aquarius. But you have to, you have to address your own emotional patterns, your own, you know, roots, right? Okay, so that's all I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Aquarius. Hey Pisces, hey Pisces. So Pisces, we are going to be experiencing the a full moon in our natal ninth house. And also the sun and Uranus is going to be in natal third house. And this Pisces for us, I think it brings a focus to like what is factual, what are the facts, and what do you have faith in. I do think there is a death that will happen when it comes to, because the ninth house is the house of like evolution. It is the house of seeing things from higher. It is a house of your. It is the house of your higher self. It being ruled by Scorpio. We know that your higher self is freaking feisty. It's like no, right? But this is really a mental pattern that you're ending, that is causing clutter to your mind, that's causing you to talk about stupid things like small talk, which you don't want to talk about, right? Or anxiety or gossiping or doing things that we normally should not be doing, right? Or not normally should not be doing, but facts. It's time to speak facts and speak truth. And it's like your mind is truly ready for death. It's ready, and I'm not death, but depth. Death. Let me just spell it DEPTH, right? You're ready for that type of death. And you're ready for like to study. You're ready to really see your higher self emerge and speak to you. And you're just ready for this emotional evolution, or you are just ready to like skyrocket into some type of it's like you're ready to skyrocket beyond the noise, or find meaning beyond all of the noise that you have been hearing and things of that nature, right? The Pluto is retrograding in your ninth house, and so Pluto brings us a focus of like your power being regenerated in some type of way, right? You are experiencing regeneration, and you're with your higher self, with your higher mind. If you believe in religion, if you believe in like a spiritual path, you are starting to see where your power actually lies, and you're getting these little tests within the universe that shows you, hey, there's no reason for you to still be talking small. It's time to talk big. It's time to really talk about death. And death, no one wants to talk about death, right? But we have to talk about death of the mind, things that make us feel insecure, things that do with manipulation, things that do with ancestry that needs to stop yesterday, right? And dynamics that are because the ninth house is the house of like religion, organized stuff. So whatever needs to be exposed will be exposed, but for your betterment, Pisces, I truly believe, right? And that's all I have for you, Pisces. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Pisces. Okay, so that is all that I have for the full moon in Scorpio. We can expect a rupture. Let's just say that. And I think that it feels like an awakening. It's definitely going to be different for us all, but it's a change that must be had, almost like you can't look back anymore. You have to really change your sense of, mental patterns. And I do think that, it's going to bring some type of mental freedom, but also some type of freedom in general, emotionally. And it's just like your soul is ready to break free. So it's time to break free. And that's all I have. So I'll see you guys in the next video. If you are new here, my name is Fairy Goddess Cody. And hi, nice to meet you. I'm so happy that you're here. Please try to share this video with someone that can find it useful or helpful. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.